From the subreddit antiwork. Kohls interviewer said I'm not allowed to disclose my wage. So I just recently quit my job at Panera Bread out of sheer frustration. The rage I felt there was not worth Maryland's minimum wage of $11.75. I just interviewed at Kohls and was asked what I made at Panera and told them honestly and said I can in no way see myself giving my all again for such a low wage. Mind you, I was the highest tipped employee there and we split tips evenly, which sucks cause my earnings go to the dicks that flake off in the bathroom for 15 minutes 3 times a shift. Anyways, he offered me 12. I said no sir, I'll take at least 13, and he said yes sir, but you can't disclose your pay to other employees cause I've had people here for 6 months still on minimum wage. It could cause a mass walkout, he says. Ooh boy, I'm tempted to say something to people. Isn't it illegal to silence me in that way? I feel like I've seen all over r/antiwork people saying that's a big no-no. Do it and let them fire you because of it. Stop telling prospective employers how much you currently make. Once they know that you have much less leverage. If they have the nerve to even ask, lie. If you wanted to make $15 an hour at this job, you should have told them your last job paid $14.50. You're under no obligation to tell the truth. Tell him the rate for non-disclosure is $25 and then tell people anyway. Get it in writing that you are not allowed to discuss the wages. Otherwise, document everything. Conversations, keep emails and texts. Transcribe as close as you can all conversations with management. Cover your ass. Don't ever be honest about your wage. Tell them, I made 17 if you were making 11. Then tell them I would accept 15. And if they tell you it's illegal to talk about wages, say, oh, do you have that written down? Then report the fuckers to the labor board. I still regret not walking out of my first job at Toys R Us when a seasonal employee, who was taking endless breaks and bitched most of the time, told us he was making 2.5 more than me. The kicker is, he revealed it to say it was too low. Greater than my earnings go to the dicks that flake off in the bathroom. Don't hate your coworkers for getting away with not working. If you guys had been paid better, they'd be more motivated. Short answer is yes. Long answer is yes, and tell everyone. Can I get that in writing? Have you considered that it's a lie and you're actually being paid less than your colleagues? This might not be about what you think it's about. Record your boss talking that illegal bullshit and then throw his ass under the NLRB bus. You might get fired, but you'll get a back pay settlement once the facts are out there. In the future, ask them, so what would happen if I did discuss my wage? Would I be fired or arrested? The trick is to get them saying the words. It's against federal law as of 2014 to deny the ability to discuss one's wages. Introduce all of your coworkers to this sub. If they're only getting minimum wage after 6 months, then there is a lot more that they need to be informed about. Don't try to get them to demand $13 same as you. Try to get everyone on board demanding $15 an hour. Because he asked you to do something illegal, you don't have to comply. Take your $13, and make sure you let your new coworkers know. If you get questioned by the boss, you have options. Prohibiting talk of salaries at work is federally illegal. Are you trying to get the whole company in trouble? Wait, you were serious about that? Considering it's against the law, I thought you were joking? Are you trying to cause trouble for yourself? I realize people above you are putting you under an enormous amount of pressure to keep payroll costs down, but they're putting you in the position of being Ray 1 to break the law and be the fall guy. I suggest you join me in reporting this to the labor board instead. And write down everything now and send it to yourself so it's saved multiple places. Written documentation from the beginning will be your safety net. Move to MoCo, minimum wage is $15 there. What Kohls and MD? Will now cause a walkout anyway. Every damn place is begging for hires in this state. I think even Rofo is offering more than 13 in some places. I guarantee you're probably making more than the current managers that Kohls has, and that's why they're lying to you. Greater than dicks that flake off in the bathroom for 15 minutes 3 times a shift. You've got it all wrong, kid. You're the dick for acting like going to the bathroom is such a fucking crime. Look around you. Why are you busting your ass when nobody else seems to be? Hard work and dedication will not get you a raise. Do just enough to be doing more than everyone else and nothing more. Why slave your life away for literally nothing? Please say something. When I was 18, one of the new hires who could barely do her job correctly told me she made $4 more than me and she lied on her resume. I found a new job with better pay and I quit. I don't think I would have done that if she didn't tell me. Leave your pay stub in the break room for all to see. Or for enough to see. Oops, playful face. Say sure thing and do it anyway. It's protected federally that you're allowed to talk about wage. Oops, my bad. If it's seasonal, then let the employees know on your last day that they can afford to spend more, they just don't want to. Print up some anonymous posters saying you make $16 and watch chaos break out. Because you don't, you have plausible deniability. Fuck corporate America. Do not work at Kohls. Horrible work environment and bare minimum pay. It's illegal to restrict you from discussing your wage. Them just telling you not to doesn't necessarily violate a law, but if they enforce that at all, it's illegal. How are you even surviving an MD on $12? Comrade, do it. My God, I live in Iowa and Panera Bread are paying $15 an hour, $17 if there is a drive-through. Wages seems to vary tons by state. Granted, most wages were like $9 an hour before COVID here. My favorite thing about this, it's so hypocritical. What did you make at your last job? Uses this information to offer you a low wage. You can't tell your pay to anyone who works here. He just asked you what you made at the last job, but only tells you this to keep his costs down. That's illegal. It's not at all wrong to discuss your wage with anyone, unless they are ashamed of what they pay you. Just ask him to put that in writing. Straight up Department of Labor investigation right there. Your right to talk about your wages with your fellow employees is protected under federal law. With very few exceptions, like talking about it in front of customers, you are fully in your rights to discuss pay with your fellow employees. The fallout of it is on your employer for trying to hide it and them trying to fire you over it, even if they gave another reason, could be seen as retaliation, which would be illegal. The only issue is you only have it on word and not written down, so any case would become a he said/she said argument, and you probably couldn't get their request to keep your wages silent in writing without looking suspicious. Whatever path you take, there's the info for you. Homie was so quick to agree to $13 for you op. Bet you coulda demanded more, like $15 to $17 with no problem. Always check your local laws before taking Reddit advice. Even if I say now yes that's illegal, check your local laws. Empower those employees, tell them your wage. If they fire you for it, then enjoy Fun Employment City. Work a couple of weeks there just to accidentally slip it out. I dare you, I double dare you. You most likely don't want to work there long term anyways. You should have lied and said $16 an hour or something. That's still mad low. And just tell people anyways. They can't fire you for it. Hey, I did 8 years of management, big no to tell someone they can't share their wage. Verbally agree to his demands if you need the work, but talk to your fellow workers about pay anyway. Worst case scenario is they make up a bullshit excuse to fire you and you have to work a different $13/hour retail job for slightly different assholes. Also, never reveal your current salary in wage negotiations. Print out your pay stub and censor any identifying information, leave copies everywhere. Tell them. A lot of people feel like with time/hard work, they will get a raise. You know for a fact that this isn't true. This has definitely happened to me where I thought eventually my hard work would pay off. Unfortunately, I ended up finding out that the employer had no plans of me making more money. He tried to tease me with some as I quit, but by then I was ready for something new. Good chance he is lying. They probably are making more and wants you to settle for next to nothing knowing that you are making more than others. Psychology trick. There are so many jobs you can do in this world that have real-world application and pay decent wages. Smithing, working the railroad, the military, the list goes on. You're literally wasting your time doing something like this because it'll never translate over to something else. Take the job, then immediately tell all the employees you make $13 per hour. From my understanding, not a lawyer, you legally must be allowed to discuss your wage. After 3 months, ask for another raise and use this as leverage. That's an idea. New rule: anytime an employer asks you what you made at the last place, say that you were told it's illegal to share what you made there. I went from making $15 per hour to $22 per hour in less than a year by lying to new employers about how much I made at the last place. Once you get this job, tell the next place you were making $15. They told you to not discuss it because you are the one that's underpaid. Smile. It's also possible that the other employees make more than $13 and the boss doesn't want you to know. Equal pay for equal work is the law in the state of Maryland. It does have a provision saying the request is unlawful. However, MD is also right to work and therefore can fire you at just about any time for any reason just because they feel like it. That is illegal. Do it and get fired. In the United States, it is 100% illegal for him to in any way discourage you from talking about your compensation with other employees.